So we've talked to everybody each week, and we know you hadn't been able to make it out because superstitions have been running rampant around here. And it's the general consensus, I don't know if you've been listening, that nobody likes to hit you. So I'll hit you. But
maybe you love to hit them is what it sounds like.
But, okay, so now it's your turn. Who is your favorite and least favorite person to hit on the team?
Well, I don't have a least favorite. I mean, I'm not scared of anybody. And favorite, anybody that's across from me, that crosses my face. I just like to hit.
All right, who is your favorite?
Anybody that crosses my face, really. I love to hit everybody.
Okay, so the general consensus on that has been Lane Carroll. So if you want to say Lane, we'll gladly take it and run with it.
Lane Carroll.
That's what we were trying to coax you into, the Lane Carroll answer. So,
Kelby Ford will be on the other side again. He's run for over 1,500 yards this year. What's different about him as opposed to any other running back?
He runs harder than anybody we face. He's good size, he's athletic, and just runs hard. It breeds success. So,
had a big game against him last time too. So, what's your mindset going into this one, considering you had success against Marion last time?
Doesn't change. Same thing as last game. Play hard, play physical.
Just find the gap. So the defensive line's been playing really well. This isn't on the question list either, but how does that affect you as a linebacker? You're able to just get in there and pick a hole, and most of the time you're guessing right.
I mean, the linemen open up the holes for me and just allows me to make the plays.
I think I know the answer to this one as well, but when you carry the ball, you just seem like you're so mad. Do you like being perceived as a guy that can run over and buy defenses?
I always have been ever since going back to when I was 8 years old. Always run hard, and that's what I've always been taught, and that's what I do.
So why are you so mad when you run the football? What do you picture on the opposite side?
My dad always told me, imagine that you're on fire, the end zone's made of water. So you want to get the fire off you, so run into the end zone.
Well, he's gotten the fire off of him 7 times this year, which leads the team. So, what can we use to get Mark more pumped up for the broadcast? How can I use an analogy like that for fire and water? We'll have to get Doug. Doug does a good job sending in tweets to us. He helps us out finding out some stats. I know Doug had a whole search team trying to figure out the playoff thing. It ended up not being as far back as we had thought it was going to be. So, since 2002, so your dad's very immersed in the stats, so we're glad that he's able to, and he's very interactive. It keeps us on our toes, and we definitely like that side of the fanhood there for your father. And how much pressure is there on the run game? I know you basically alluded to that, but not really. I mean, this offensive line is going to have to step up against a very good defensive front for Marion. But how much pressure do you feel like is on the run game to sort of open up the passing lanes for Jamie?
There's no pressure at all. The boys have prepared for it all week. They're ready. We're ready. Just ready for game time.
What is the mood of the team in the locker room?
We are excited as ever. We are ready to play this game. We've been chomping at the bit since Monday. Get out on the practice field. That just means one day closer to Friday.
How is the change, real quick here, from Virginia High's practice field to Tennessee High over at the Stone Castle this week? What's that been like?
Coach Chris has always told us to deal with adversity, and that's what we do. Get to go practice on – we're fortunate enough to go practice on our rivals, but we're just thankful that they let us and just overcome some obstacles, and that's one of our obstacles that we overcome.
All right, so we're going to move on now to the fun questions now. I'm sure we've got plenty of Ask Cats questions. We'll go over to Mark for those. We got any?
So we know that your dad is the biggest contributor to Ask Cats, and I'll throw that his way for that. But we also have a couple from a couple teammates tonight as well. Colton Ratcliffe asks, who's your favorite player of all time?
Favorite player of all time has got to be Sean Taylor. Sean Taylor, he was my idol when I was younger. When I was younger, I didn't really understand football as much, but going back before games, I watched his highlights, just a hard hitter, physical, and that's how I play. He's my inspiration.
Jamie Lathrop asks, Aaron, do you ever feel bad for the people that you're trucked during the game?
Not one bit.
Doug Rose, of course, drops in a little bit and says, my guess would be that you got your athletic ability from someone in your family. Who would you say that is?
Oh, him for sure. My dad, 100%.
Let's see. It looks like you well, I did screw up, so I'm going to go ahead and ask you again anyway. Do you have a Friday game day tradition?
Yes. Me, my buddy Cooper, Bobby, and Colton Ratcliffe, always before the game in the locker room, we always say a quick little prayer. It's usually Colton before the game, and we'll always do one after the game as well, just thanking God for everything that he's done for us and just giving him the glory, win or lose.
That's pretty awesome. And what does it mean to you guys personally to have a playoff game at G. Malcolm?
Like any other game, really. It's just another home game. It's just a different title to it.
So one more here. Give us the pregame jam that you listen to. This will be the final one for you.
We Will Rock You's a good one. I like listening to that one. A song called We Ready.
I've heard that one, yeah.
That's a good one. It's usually never the same, just a different one. Whatever I'm feeling, whatever I'm in the mood for.
Well, Aaron, we thank you for tuning in or coming in tonight.
Thanks for having
tuning
me.
in, listening to Aaron there. Tune in to We Ready. It'll get you ready for the game on Friday night. I don't even think you need music to get ready for the rematch Friday night. That first game was so good. So we wish you luck.
Thank you.
Next week, and thank you for joining us for the second time. You now join Lane Carroll you've been on here twice, so you guys are going to be competing. We'll see who else can add to it. But good luck Friday, and I hope everybody can make it out Friday night for the game. And with that, we'll have another guest coming up next. Preston Schaefer is going to join us right after the break. Let's give Aaron a round of applause for coming up and talking to us on Bearcat Sports Chat. We'll be right back.
You're listening to Virginia High Football on Bearcat Radio on Spreaker.com. Bearcat Radio is brought to you by State Line Motors. Visit State Line Motors on Euclid Avenue in Bristol.
Hi, I'm Dustin Lynch. You don't have to listen to country music to know that life can be full of drama. Some of it you just can't control, like your girlfriend running out on you with your best friend. But there's some drama that you can skip.
Skip the drama that comes with not having your high school diploma or equivalency. Find free adult education classes near you and finish your diploma. Visit finishyourdiploma.org. That's finishyourdiploma.org.
You just need to take that first step and find free classes near you and start moving towards a brighter future and even your college degree.
Brought to you by the Dollar General Literacy Foundation and the Ed Council.
Follow Bearcat Radio on Twitter with the handle @VHS Bearcat Radio and on Facebook by searching Bearcat Radio for the upcoming broadcast schedule and shows on the flagship stream of Virginia High School athletics. You're listening to the best high school football in the Tri-Cities on the Bearcat Sports Radio Network.
In 50 feet, turn left. Why are you driving so slowly?
After a few drinks, I'm taking it slow.
Well, you're not fooling the cop behind you.
What?
Get ready to pay in 0.1 miles.
Getting pulled over for buzz driving could cost you around $10,000 in fines, legal fees, and increased insurance rates. Nothing kills a buzz like getting pulled over for buzz driving, because buzz driving is drunk driving.
You're listening to Virginia High Football on Bearcat Radio on Spreaker.com.
Welcome back to Bearcat Sports Chat. Dylan Hutton along with Mark Carr. Now we're joined by senior football player Preston Schaefer. And Preston coming up here, of course, with the knee all bandaged up. And, of course, you key defensive player on this team. You had a sack on the season right there before the injury against Lebanon. What did you feel you contributed most to the team for this season?
The main thing I'd say I contributed was probably attitude. You know, Coach says it best. At some point in the game, the adversity's, it's going to come against you, and the other team's going to gain momentum. And the main thing I always try to do is just keep everybody's head up and, let them see the positive in something that happened that was negative.
Yeah, this is definitely a defense. It seems like they've taken that and ran with it. Seems like you're making offenses make plays down the field, not giving up chunk plays. Coach Sidner always told, like the 2 weeks we had Coach Sidner on here, make them have more snaps, more chances to get turnovers, and that's something that's happened as we've seen going into the year, and we've seen this team get backed up into the red zone with the offense on the defensive side, getting backed up near the goal line and getting some stops in some key spots. So that's definitely a key thing to be telling these guys.
Oh, yeah. Wait, I don't know what to say.
Oh, go ahead. Yeah, we'll let Mark talk.
As an athlete myself, we've both had our fair share of rough injuries and stuff that just really set you back. I hate to ask you this, but can you take us through your injury, and how's your mood and outlook changed since that night?
Really, when it first happened, I didn't really want to face it. You go through this stage of denial where, you just don't want to accept that that's really what happened. And with my outlook on the whole thing that happened, really, the first thing that went through my head was my team. I felt like I let them down, and I really did get down on myself. But then again, I had to think, too, if I'm negative, it's going to rub off on them and make them negative. So I had to find in myself a way to be positive and bring them up and step up their game more through me showing them that, yeah, granted, it sucks what happened, but at the same time, I have to be there for them.
And moving on from that, since the injury, a couple of games under the belt since then, of course, the Marion game and then the Richlands. What are some things that you do from the sideline now to help the team any way you can?
Really, I just try to show them that, granted, I'm not suiting up with them now, but I can be on the sidelines and show them that I am there for them and I have faith in them and that I try to encourage them the best way I can possible.
I'm not going to lie to you. I see a couple more than a little play for 38 tweets. How nice is it to have these guys rally around you, and what does it mean to you?
It means a lot personally. This team is, honestly, when it comes to brotherhood, it's an understatement. This team, it's a family. The unity we have is just unremarkable. And to know that they're playing for me and that they're showing me that they care for me through, getting these wins and playing their hearts out, it means a lot.
So, unfortunately, the injury happens a year hosting a playoff game, your senior season. What has been your favorite memory, though, going back of your high school career? I mean, you can pick anything you want, or you could stick to football or whatever. What's been your favorite memory at Virginia High?
Hands down, when we beat Abingdon this year. I'll never forget, right after Dean got that sack, I looked over on the sidelines, and you just saw the fans and our team rushing out to, give us congratulations on what had just happened. And me personally, the thing that stuck out to me was I'm not much of a hugger. And the first person I saw was Coach Price, and I ran and I jumped into his arms, and everybody just kept saying we did it, and I just couldn't have been happier for my team.
Matthew Dean making that last sack, I feel like I've heard that several times this season. Some sacks happening. Mark was excited about the sack from Matthew Dean. I do recall too about that win at Abingdon. That was one of the trademark wins this season. Of course, we've had a lot of good wins, but that one, 20-19 at Abingdon, the way things were going in that game was pretty unbelievable.
We still think that that call is the Dean's family ringtone every time someone calls.
Yeah, Mark, of course, Matthew Dean. I think he's done that again since then, though. So it's kind of.
I did it for Halloween. I did a little shake and bake.
We had Matthew on, a couple of weeks ago. So that's a favorite memory. That's definitely a good memory, and that's one early one for me here at Virginia High. I think I'll remember.
And he definitely had that ride-in for best play of the year for that too.
Yeah. So.
But so. Being a senior, how much would it mean for you guys to get this win on Friday night?
Oh, more than anything. The main thing, though, is, you got to look at it as any other game. You can't, can't really get worked up. Granted, it is a home playoff game, and we haven't had one in years. It is a big game, but we just got to keep our mindset, like Aaron said, week to week, and just go in, play hard, play physical, and hopefully come out with a win.
All right, so we're going to put a lot on you here, and you couldn't have prepared for this. I just thought of it. So, okay, inspire us on the radio here, all the teammates. What would you tell them before the game Friday night? Get us pumped.
I was actually thinking about this the other night when I was laying down. Look, like, football for me was kind of I don't know, really. It's an escape from reality. You get to come in with your friends. You get to forget about everything that's going on in real life and come together and play the football or play the game that you love. And really what I want to challenge them to do is think of everything that you've ever played football for and then transpire that over to the game Friday night. And if you do that, I don't think there's any team that can beat us.
I'm ready to go now. Can we get the bus over here and go ahead and take it on?
We'll bring Marion on over, too. We'll just get ready to go.
I'll call Coach Carroll. We'll get something lined up and play them here in a couple of hours. I hope everybody's ready. So that's definitely it, though. These seniors could be the last game. You never know. Come playoff time, so you definitely got to lay it all out there.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of guys, you never know how many more football games you'll have left in your career. And, okay, now we'll move to a lighter note here. What's your favorite childhood TV show? This is important.
Well, I watched a lot of TV as a kid, and